It's showtime.
Welcome back, guys. Django Fett here. We are back with the Becks. So we have the Hidden Becks and the Vulkars about to battle with one another. The one with the shock staff is like the biggest troll because he like takes down both of them like easily. So Karth is actually dressed up as the Sith, not me, and he still calls us Sith, so that's nice. And I'm ready to duke it out. I'm just gonna use longsword or whatever melee weapon I have available, and Karth will stick it out with the ranged blasters. Because he's pretty effective with the blasters, of course. Shock staff is pretty useless. I've never actually used it before, so I've just sold it off.
Sorry, but your kind aren't well. Yeah, you do.
What?
Gotta take off that Sith armor. Makes a big difference taking it off.
Hey, you can't just walk in here. This is the Hidden Beck base. How do I know you're not a Vulkar? A lot of people want to go inside and speak to Gadon. He's a hero of the common folk. But the days of the Hidden Beck, between the Sith conquest and the Vulkar gang war, Gadon has more enemies than he used to. Well, we do need all the help. Besides, it's not like you can do anything to harm Gadon in the heart of his own base. Go in and speak to Gadon if you want.
Hold it right there. Who are you?
Calm down, Zerdra. Nobody's going to try anything here in the middle of our own...
You're too trusting, Gadon. Brejik and his Vulkars want you dead. Anyone we don't know is a potential threat, and it's my job to make sure you're safe.
Do you want us to start attacking strangers on sight, Zerdra? Like the Vulkars do? I will never let it come to that. Now step aside and let them pass.
As you wish. You can speak to Gadon if you want, but I've got my eye on you. You try anything and you'll be vaporized before you can say Vulkar spy.
You'll have to forgive Zerdra. Ever since Brejik and the Vulkars began this war against us, she's been a little overzealous in her security duties. And the problems with the Sith haven't helped things. Zerdra seems to forget that I know how to look after myself. Now, how can I help you? The escape pods? You know, I heard the Sith have been asking around the upper city about them as well.
So, interestingly enough, I just looked this up, but the soundtrack for the Coder soundtrack for this game, the most songs are actually in this world, Taris. This world actually has the most songs, and it's a pretty big difference. I don't have the actual count, but I think it's like 3-to-1 compared to each planet. This is by far the most because it's setting up everything, but it's a pretty big difference when you look at the soundtrack list. I would say it's 3-to-1 when comparing it to the other planets, in my opinion. I would say it's like 3-to-1 compared to other planets. They don't have nearly as many songs compared to this. I think they just reuse a lot of the same soundtrack.
Normally, the Vulkars would take a captured slave and sell them for a nice profit to Davik, or an off-world slaver. But a Republic officer is no ordinary catch.
I still think Bastila's just a Republic officer. That could work to our advantage.
Maybe she'll even figure out a way to escape from the...
She's too valuable to leave with the Vulgar scum at the
So if you're light side or dark side, you can actually ally with the Hidden Becks or the Vulkars. It's kind of weird with the Vulkars because you have to defeat a certain amount, then you can actually get to the guy and then get down the Hidden Becks. I find it just easier to go down the light side and just take down the Vulkars and just stick with that, instead of just going back to the Hidden Becks and just killing everybody there. I think that's kind of useless right there, but if you want to go down dark side, that's something you have to do.
You have of rescuing Bastila is to somehow win the big season opener of the swoop raid. I might be able to help you with this. If you... The swoop race is for the... But first, you have to do something for me. My mechanics have developed...
So I have to get inside the Vulkar base to get this accelerator so we can win the race.
Getting into the Vulkar base won't be easy. The front doors are locked tight. But I know someone who might be able to get you in the back way. Mission Vale.
Mission? Gaddon, you can't be serious. She's just a kid. How is she supposed to help them with this?
Mission's explored every step of every back alley in the lower city. Plus, she knows the Undercity sewers better than anyone. If anyone... She and her Wookiee friend Zalbar are always looking to stir up a little excitement. Your best bet is to look for her in the Undercity. But you'll need some... A simple disguise might have worked on the... Luckily,
So those papers will actually come in handy later on, but the disguise is pretty much useless right now. So I have to give up the disguise and then get the security papers, then I can go back to the Undercity anytime I want to by talking to the guard and give him the papers, and right away I can be, you know, pretty much in the clear.
I like to be prepared. Eventually, the Sith are going to try to drive us out of the Undercity. Sith disguises might give my people...
It's nice to have the Sith uniform and see other people's reactions, but it's really, like, not even worth it just to keep it, honestly. And you can't even progress, too, so...
I suggest you hurry.
These guys are fairly easy, yeah, and especially in low level, even though we got crushed the first time around. And usually they drop something after the battle, every now and then.
You guys are behind with your payments. What do you think just because you're in some gang, you don't have to give Davik his cut?
So these Vulkars think they can do anything they want, but the exchange is much bigger than they could ever be.
Okay. I knew you boys would see reason. Now get out of here.
Too bad. I was looking forward to cracking some heads.
Maybe next time, Candaris. I better get this over to Davik. I'll call you if anyone else gets behind on their...
Those Vulkars are dumber than a Coruscant granite slug. They actually think being in that pathetic little gang of theirs makes them important. Gaddon keeps his hidden Becks in line, but Brezhik's getting dreams of grandeur. If Davik's smart, he'll slap that young punk. I'm someone you don't want to... I don't have time to stick around here.
So using the grenades clears out a lot of the enemies. It's really helpful to have. I will use the grenades quite a lot with a mass number of units. And there's actually a feature for one of the teammates you can have to use just grenades like all the time, but still be like a ranged person. So that's always nice. So here is where the Undercity starts. I'm not gonna go to the apartments just yet. I'm gonna go to the lower city, do all this quest for that, and then come back and go to the little 2-section apartments for the lower city. And you'll find it's radically different than the lower city even.
You there! Upworld!
Yeah, this is our...
I don't believe this planet. Even the beggars are trying to shake us down. 5 credits! Please! Hush! Or the others will hear us. They'll want our credit.
Go on, you two. Get out of here. I'm sorry.
This voice actress is in quite a lot of work. In cartoons, video games. I forget her name, but she's really good.
I'm sure you are, miss. It's just too bad your little
My name is Shalina. You're from the Upworld, aren't you? I've never seen it. I was born here in the Undercity. Is it as... I've never been to the surface, but sometimes I think I can see it in my dreams. The sun, Gendar, the leader of our village, tells me I should spend more time trying to improve things down here and less time dreaming about... You probably think I'm a fool. Rukio's the oldest man in the village. I still like to... It's just a story to make little children smile. I guess... He's wandering around somewhere. The children laugh at him and people think he's crazy. He'll be some... I don't know anything about that, but... There were quite a few people from the surface marching through the village. Oh, okay.
Wait, Upworlder. The villagers infected...
I can't do anything to save them right now, so I have to get the Rackle serum to actually save these people.
Nothing can be done for the... Nobody would be foolish.
So this is a good person to have, the healer right here. So since I'm pretty low level, I need the healing like immediate. So when I attack the Rackles, they're gonna attack me, and I'm gonna get like a poison, a green on my bar, life bar, and it's really helpful to have that that lady over there, the healer.
Many times, though I've never spoken to her. There are 2 entrances into the sewers from the Undercity. If you dare to travel those dark tunnels, you would be wise to go heavily armed.
As you wish, Upward.
You come from... Are you the herald? Be careful. This one might be crazy enough to be dangerous. Speak to me, Upworlder.
So the Rackles are actually created from like a Sith disease of some kind. There was like this amulet made by Carnus Moore, and he used that to control like these Rackles and stuff like that, and create them and stuff like that from people. So it's actually a pretty okay story. I think it's from the crossover with Legacy, Star Wars Legacy, Dark Times, Rebellion, and I think I'm missing another one, Knights of the Old Republic. And it's actually centered around a different timeline with them all crossed over, and it kind of makes sense. But it's actually kind of a neat story, so I would recommend you check that out.
Hurry, Hindar! Hurry! I can hear it coming!
He'll never make it. He's doomed. I told him he was a fool to leave the village.
He will make it. Run, Hindar, run!
Open the gate! Quickly! There isn't much time!
The mutants will kill him if you...
The voice of this is actually Ashley Williams, who is voiced by Kimberly Brooks. She did Ashley from Mass Effect, the Mass Effect series.
You'd risk your life. I'll open the gate for you, but you...
So the Rackles are really kind of tough early on. I will have a lot of trouble. I should have used melee weapons. Actually, I do right now. But I should have done it early on, and it actually kills the guy. So unfortunately, I could not get the full experience and light side points, but oh well.
A horrible fate for poor him, but I couldn't open. But enough of this grim. Goodbye, Upworlder.
No! Hindar!
And that's it. I can't complete that, get the most experience from that, and light side points, and she just freaking disappears. So that's really unfortunate. I wish I saved his ass, but nothing more you can do from that. Unless you reload that. So right away, we got our asses kicked from that. So even though I could level up, Karth can't at the time. So I'm just gonna level up my character really quickly. I will increase my strength. I should increase my dexterity. It's only until now that I discovered it, after I've recorded like 10 parts right now. Because dexterity increases your defense, really good for force abilities as well. So, unfortunately, I didn't do that.
Back again? Is it?
Hey, you ain't from the
Watch yourself.
My name's Saigir. I run a little salvage. If a villager, he'll exchange food. It ain't the
So he doesn't really have much, but he has Ichani battle armor for some reason, Vibro Blades, Vibro Sword, an Arcanian heavy pistol, which is actually really nice, but unfortunately I didn't get that at the time. But he's got Vibration Cell, Scope, so not, you know, not too bad. For the Undercity, yeah, that's saying something. Alright, so we're gonna run into mission right now. Okay, here is mission.
Help me. Nobody else is gonna help me. Even the Becks won't help me. But I can't just leave him there. Gadden? What? I don't know what you're talking about.
I would say she's probably the most useless team member in this game by far. I'd say she's the most useless. I never use her for anything else except for the 4 sections like in here. So until you find Salbar, I would use Salbar, but I would never use Mission at all. I find her the most useless. That's my opinion though. I think she's good in stealth, but I think that's about it. But I really don't think she's useful at all. Only just early on.
Sure.
You there, civilian. This is a restricted area. What are you doing down here? Security papers. Oh, we've already lost one patrol. We figure the rock ghouls got them. We've had so many. Plus, we've had several skirmishes with looters. Oh, is that why you're down here? Search and rest. I would have gone to invest.
So these guys actually have the Rackle serum, but they're not going to give it to you. So you're going to have to find it off a dead body from a Sith, actually. So I'm just going to go around investigating this whole area, getting as much stuff as I can, fighting the Rackles. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge early on, but slowly get better at it. And it also helps to have mission now. Makes a big difference.
Don't move.
Settle down, kid. We've already lost enough mental. By the looks of you, I'd
It's
say
weird how the
let me give you
Rackles
some
are only
pointers.
centered in this
Forget about
location and not everywhere else. If it's like a
This
really
isn't a good
big
place to stand around
infection,
chatting.
like it
Yep.
spreads, like if they bite you or something like that, they can like spread like zombies, you know?
Looks like we've got company.
Alright, so take down these Rackles. Just throw a bunch of grenades since they're all piled up, and he just killed them right away. I do not want to get up close and personal with them, so just blast their asses off. So usually 2 of these guys would get killed, but fortunately I saved,
I told Dominic this
you know,
salvage
one of them
was a
only got
bad
killed.
idea. His men aren't... Okay, boys. You'd be smart to get out of... Davik sent me down here with this motley crew to scat, but the lower city gangs got here first. This isn't the lower city is overrun, but lately the Black Vulkars are moving in. Take these escape pods, for example. What are you, an off-worlder? Smuggling, gambling... This isn't the lower city, but lately the Black Vulkars... Take these escape pods. Come on, boys,
There's some more Rackles over here. I'm going to do exploration just to find these journals, and to use these journals to give to the old man, and actually complete a quest for the Promised Land. So I'm actually going to use this to my advantage and use a bunch of grenades. And I did not time that one right. I should have just thrown it right at where Karth is. See, killed 3 of them right there. And there's a bunch of dead bodies, so gotta loot their corpses and find some journals. And if they don't have journals, if they have, you know, a little bit of credits, med pack, that's always helpful too. So always loot the bodies, get as much stuff as you can. That's what I always say. Go to every single section you can, every nook and cranny if you can, and find that stuff. This is the first of, I think, 3 journals, so I have to get them all and give it to Rootkeel. And there's actually 2 Rackles on the right side, so I'm not going to go over there since there's not really anything over there. There's not actually a dead body, so I'm just going to move on. And I always go the outside first, and then the inside is where the Gamorreans are, where they have Zalbar. So I'm actually going to do the outside sections first and then get to the inside.
Help me. No! No! I can feel it! Ah!
So if I had the Rackle serum I can get from a dead Sith trooper, I can actually save the guy. I can actually give him the serum. It's kind of weird because like you get the serum and you can give it to everyone. You have like unlimited amounts, but you can give it to like 10 other people or something like that. So it's a little ridiculous, but whatever. So you can actually use the serum to actually cure him at the time. He won't give you anything, but I think it'll be light side and experience points. And the fiends are actually more powerful than the regular rat ghouls. They will do more damage, and they have a little bit more health, so. And it's usually the last one. Yep, that one right there. There's actually 2 dead Sith troopers, but this one actually has a beam splitter, heavy combat suit, and the serum. And I will actually take the serum to like 10 different people. And there is actually no journal here. It's actually inside this area, but I can actually heal up and then go inside against the Gamorreans.
You're a pilot for the Republic, right? You've been all over the galaxy, I bet, right?
To be honest, Mission, Taris would rate pretty low. The prejudice, the rich spoiling themselves while the poor are crushed beneath them, it's not a pretty picture.
Yeah, but that's only...
So there is some common sections where they actually interact with one another. Your teammates will interact with yourself, or they'll interact with each other, depending on who it is. So I always liked that.
There are a lot of worlds better than Taris. There are worse, too, but Taris is no place...
It really feels like they're like bonding with one another, or they're arguing with one another. I always like that.
I look out for Zalbar as much as he looks out for me. Big C's my friend, not my babysitter. Jeez, I come...
Don't you snap at me, Missy. You want a lecture? How's this? Only bratty little children fly off the handle because of a simple comment.
Both of you, shut up.
I don't have to listen to you, Karth.
Oh my god. Mission's pretty annoying.
And I sure as hell don't need this. Look, let's just drop it and get...
So you actually do see Mission in the Kotor comics when Zane Carrick actually goes to Taris, or he's actually in Taris, and runs into them. So with Gadon, the Hidden Becks, even the Volkers too.
Greetings once more. It is as I feared, then. By finding my apprentice, you have proved yourself. You are Mark. I am old. I have lived 100 years in the Undercity. The great city of Taris covers the entire surface of this planet. There is no land to grow food. A century ago, rising levels of toxic pollution poisoned the oceans, and famine swept the planet. The rich hoarded food for their own use.
From what I've seen of Taris, it doesn't look like much has changed. Except for the upper city, people here are just as bad off as the poor.
But the poor rose up against this tyranny, and civil war engulfed the planet. Millions died in the fighting, and huge The rebellion was crushed in the end. Thousands were taken prisoner. The jails could not hold them all, and so many brave men and women were banished here to the Undercity for their part in the rebellion.
What did you expect? If they could get away with it, the Tarisian nobles would step their own mothers down here to make...
Now we live a dark Legends tell of a self-sufficient colony founded just before the famine, and for many years I
Sounds like a myth to me.
I have collected many clues, but I know my father and... Yes, Upworlder. I'm afraid that only with all 3 journals. I will leave this journal with...
Back again? Is there... Back again? Is there some... Your offer is generous, Upworld. The villagers infected with the rat... Nobody would be foolish and... I can't stop you.
Please, help.
And I give these people the serum, but it's too late. These guys, you can't even save, no matter what, even if you have the serum. So I gotta fight these guys, and I thought I like did something wrong, so I wanted to reset it or something, but I just continued it on. There's actually some other people on the left-hand side that are just hidden, and that you can actually save. And he goes down too. And mission. Look at that.
Yes?
Back again? Is there some... Your offer is generous, Up. The villagers infected... Nobody would be fooled. I can't stop you from... Back again? Is there some...
So I'm going to save these people on the left-hand side. I'm like, oh, shoot, there's more people.
Please, please.
So if I don't bring them the serum, they actually turn into rat ghouls as well, if I don't bring them.
Quickly, I must enjoy. I feel the disease. Thank you, Upworld. Not long ago, and I'd tell you more if I could, but we should go now.
And I get light side points, which is nice. And experience.
You amaze me. I wish I had some... Farewell.
I saw you talking with Rukel, you know. For an outcast,
I get the feeling of...
But if Rukel ever fight... Don't judge me. The two...
Sell the journals to this guy, you get dark side points, you get a little bit of credits, but it's not even worth it. Only if you're dark side.
Yeah, okay.
There's only like 1 or 2 times where I actually go down the dark side by accident or I do it for credits, but you can actually just redeem yourself by just doing light side quests and you'll be just fine. You'll be able to get to you know, the height of the light side path with no problem whatsoever. So I'm gonna go down these lower sewers. And fight off the Gamorreans in order to save Zalbar. Zalbar is a huge upgrade over any of the teammates that I have right now, especially Mission. So I'm gonna fast forward this section because I just really don't find it really important right now. So I'm just gonna fast forward a bunch of this section in the lower sewers, so I can just get to the good parts of actually saving Zalbar. So I'm just gonna do a fast forward section because I'm just gonna be doing a lot of exploration in this part, and then I am gonna get back to the Zalbar section.
Look at this. This is one of those old... You can't use conventional security spikes on these... I'm glad to see you too, Big Z. You didn't think... These are my new friends, Big Z. A life debt? You sure about... Big Z swearing a Wookiee life... A life debt? I guess this means you're stuck with me. So, I better come with you. I can't remember exactly. There used to be a rancor monster that made its nest in that part of the sewers. Luckily, rancors aren't too bright. I was able to sneak. Okay then, off.
This is Zalbar. He is a really good teammate to have. Really great melee user. So I actually have to use mission, unfortunately, still, in order to disable the shield. So in order to disable the shield and get past this part and go to the Volker base, I have to have her on my team right now. And then when I disable the shield, then I will revert to Karth and Zalbar. So I'm gonna fast forward this section again. I'm gonna find a couple of the journals, and then I'm gonna go back to the Undercity, give the journals to this guy. Then I'm gonna get past the force field section and get to the Volker base. So I am gonna skip it right now. So interestingly, we have some dialogue, so I'm just gonna let this play out.
I didn't want to say anything, but in fact, now that I think about it, your breath has been pretty rancid ever since we rescued you from those Oh, Zalbar, that's terrible. I know how grouchy you get if you don't get your
8 square meals. That's like a fucking hobbit, man. If not more.
Ew. No wonder your breath is so bad, Big Z. Gamorreans smell like bantha poodoo. We'll have to pick you up a toothbrush. Okay, relax. No toothbrush. Sheesh. Just try and eat something else to cover up that smell, okay? Stay away from anything that's smart enough to lock you.
Take a breath, man. Come on. Okay, so we're back, and we're gonna give Rukil the journals. So it's not been confirmed if they reach the promised land. You expect that to happen, or you expect them not to die off. But supposedly they got to the promised land, in quotations. And I did get some light side points, which is nice. The merchant guy actually disappears as well. But I think he's probably still a little upset that I didn't give him the journals. But oh well, fuck him. So the healer, I think, is still there. No, actually the healer's gone as well. So take advantage of the healer before you even give the journals. And now I will get back to the sewers and get to the tunnel. So interestingly enough, I actually got to Coder because there was actually a finance... there was one of the finance channels that actually showed off the gameplay for this, and they actually showed off this section where you actually have to put some medicine into a rancor. Well, not some medicine, but poison, and kill the rancor right there. And so there's a severed arm right here. I will get the synthesized owner, and it will attract the rancor to this area, and you'll see the rancor right here. But it's actually pretty interesting. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird how I got into Coder because of that, instead of just seeing the gameplay and all that. But you know, it's whatever. They walked through this section in the news, and I was just like, huh, that looks really interesting. I'm gonna get in the game because of this. And that's how I really got into Coder, because of that. So I thought that was like really interesting. I think that's really interesting how. I think many people are probably perplexed that I got into Coder because of that, but you know, that's the way it is sometimes. You know, it's kind of weird. And I passed through this section with no problem the first time I did it because I watched how they did it. So you actually have to, instead of just putting the odor, you actually have to put like a frag grenade or a grenade and then put the synthesized odor to attract the beast. So he has frag grenade and computer spike, but if I actually give him, put a grenade, one grenade, and then put the synthesized odor, I'm going to attract him to actually eat this crap. And it kills the Rancor right here. It's weird how the Rancor is guarding this base, guarding the Vulkars and guarding against anybody getting in. But you can actually bash this. It won't do anything. You won't get anything from its corpse whatsoever. But you know it's there, and it's gone immediately. So actually, I can actually level up my character as well. But there's a couple of guys right here. I'm gonna kill them off. So leveling up is great too because like once your health is like really low, you can actually just level up and your health will be 100% as well. So that's always a good thing to have. Always a good thing to rely on, especially when you're at your lowest point. Really helpful to have. So I got into Coder because of a business news channel walking through this game, and then that's how I found it interesting and played it from there. So I'm gonna stop it right here, guys. I will do this part the next time around. I'm gonna save it really quickly, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.